Okay, so that should be working. Let's open up this tab. And then we can go here, manage. And then we'll see if this is any different. Travel back to the glass shop to tint cars with Avery. That'd be a weird dream to wake up from. I like that account. That was a good account. We didn't always have a good day. But they always, I think, did their best after a while. They probably didn't like me some. I probably didn't like them some. But then we all came around. Yeah, that place was definitely pretty busy. That was what I was used to. Most accounts would be like that. Like, we wanted them to keep us busy. We didn't want to just like go there and wait. The whole point is like we're showing up, keep us busy, and the shops that really annoyed us would either just like straight up undercharge, so we would drop them, or they would forget to sell window tint throughout the week because it's not really their main service. So again, we would just end up dropping them because they wouldn't keep us busy. And then you kind of figure out which ones are, you know, might need a little bit of work, but they're definitely worth your time to go out there. Not always going to be busy. Some weeks are busy, some weeks are slow, but you could tell that they were trying. All right, so I'm actually not really expecting this pattern to fit, but we'll see. I don't really have a lot of space to go bigger, but the other pattern was just like slightly small. So I'm wondering what they're thinking here. It's probably this edge will vary from like Tahoe to Tahoe. So I might be able to work with this. But it's gonna take a little trimming on the inside, because that's all good. And then this edge is definitely a little wide, but as long as I can make a nice clean cut along it, then it doesn't really matter if it's a little bit wide. Gives me the opportunity to fix it. So I just have the very edge of my blade out, and there's this little rubber path that I'm following. And then we should have just a nice little sliver. Nice. That worked out really well. So we'll stick with that. Because, I mean, hand cutting it's fine too. You just got to shine a light and then just get right on the outside of those dots. But your other edges need to be, like that needs to be exact, and this one needs to be a little bit longer. Oh wait, no it doesn't. Our dots are right there. So you'd follow them right there, all the way around. Okay, so that's working. So then we're going to stop this one, select live source. Perfect. I fell asleep during a live. Dreamt I had to babysit a husky dog. All right, have we installed anything on this side? Good, we have. We gotta do the roll down and another quarter window. So let's grab that, grab a razor. Orange a towel. Camera 2. Oh, it's over there. Why is it over there? Camera 2. You can't say who it's gonna follow. But we can try and distract it. Nope. I don't know what to do in this situation, huh? I like genuinely don't know how to make it. Here, I'm gonna try and distract it. Oh, there we go. We did it. All right, same thing on here. A little trim along this edge. Where's my, there it is. That. It's got a little one down here too. My car has 11 windows total. What kind of vehicle is it? I never liked quoting based on number of windows. Sales guys like quoting that way. Because it's just like, oh, it's just 5 windows. It's like, yeah, well, if it's a Corvette, it's not exactly the same type of 5 windows, is it? It's an older Jeep Cherokee. Then yeah, pricing's probably fine. Tinting coupes are harder. Yeah. Yeah, there's less space in the back. Back windows can be taller sometimes. The frameless doors can be weird. Like you have your more straightforward ones, like a Camaro, especially the early model Camaros when they brought them back. Those are pretty straightforward. But the most recent ones have like no space in the back window, even though they're like small and flat windows. That's why, like my billing's more based on time. It's just I'll spend the same amount of time on a car, and same amount of time on a truck, and same amount of time on a SUV on average. So if I have something like substantially harder, that's just going to take a lot more time, I'm going to charge more for it. Tuck this into the side. Oops, went a little low there. Scooch it up. Paying you to do it is definitely worth the time. Whoa, what is with chat today? Somebody said my pricing wasn't bad. Somebody else said it's worth the time. Shit, we're so used to getting beat up. Any skilled trade is worth paying somebody to do if you don't want to take your time to figure out how to do it. And there's usually, you know, tools, learning curve, that kind of stuff. That's why that service is worth money in the first place. But yeah, if you want like a really nice job and you don't want to invest a lot of time into trying to figure out how to do it yourself, yeah, you pay somebody. There we go. Now we can take this cover off. We're gonna wipe it down. Pull the tape. And then we got 3 back windows to do. Oh. Oh, I got it. Nice. Yeah, the nice thing about tinting is like when you invest the time into learning, you still have those days that kick your butt. But the sheer amount of work that you actually have to do isn't so bad. Turnaround's pretty quick. A lot of people are looking for the service. So you have a lot of different like options, full vehicle, couple windows, material choices. So it's cool that there's enough variety there. Camera 3. How do I get rid of the rivets or the edge bump? You're talking about just like tint imperfections? You often can't. You just have to redo them. Oh, where's my stool? There it is. Any tips on reverse rolling? I always get a speck or two every time. I mean, it sounds like you're doing everything that you possibly can. Gel seems to help, but a speck or two. You're doing good. I'll leave it at that. Okay, I'll do this one first. We got a seat belt to get around, and then I'll see what's keeping that seat from falling down. How'd you get into tinting? It was a job. My dad had a auto accessories company. Worked there. Not intending to get into window tinting, but that's just kind of how things worked out. Oh yeah, there's a baby seat. There's a baby seat. Or a booster. So this will come out. And then this I can just put here for now. And then we can put this down. Works for me. Ready. Oh, that's gonna be fun to get behind. '66 Mustang Fastback. Yeah, buddy. You're gonna have a tough time. Yeah, there's no magic in old cars. They're just tough. They did so many different things back then that it's hard to say what to do. That is a project I wouldn't be super stoked to take on. It's just a super fun day awaits. Where's my other one? There it is. Come on. There we go. Now I got it. I would trim it first and then shrink it. On the old Mustang. So that type of issue, like all of them will do that. What makes them worse is the way that they're sealed in the window. That butyl that they used to use is sometimes mashed right at the end of it. I think one of the better, more realistic solutions to something like that, trim it first, shrink it right up to the edge, and then just see what kind of space that you have to work with on the inside. If that border on the Mustang gives you a little room on the inside, well, then you could just tuck into it. But if it doesn't, because there's just butyl there, you could leave a little gap all the way around the window and then pinstripe the outside with a matte black pinstripe. That way it covers up any border. Because like, you really need some type of like window molding in a situation like that. And we don't often think of window tint as that, but in a lot of things, like these body panels, they come up, they have trim that often hides a lot of edges and stuff. And same thing with houses. Your flooring, you have your baseboards, and basically hides that edge right against the wall. So it makes sense that you would trim it a little shy and then put something on the outside to mask that gap. But a flat black or gloss black pinstripe would look pretty good. Do you hand cut everything, or when do you use a plotter? I often use a plotter for the rear on vehicles like this. So things that have borders, because my pattern can be a little wide or a little tall, and it'll still work really well. Door windows, they have a lot of support. I'll typically use them here and there for doors, but it's more just like, am I just trying to get that car done? Am I feeling lazy that day? I prefer to hand cut because of I'm getting like the exact pattern I want every time. But as soon as I really feel like a machine can do it faster and do it very well, like then hand cutting is just kind of because I feel like it. So it's getting there. It's not always there, but it's getting there. Oh, there it is. I knew it was close. Workmanship varies a lot between installers. There's stuff that I'll install that somebody would look at and just say like, wow, that's you don't have to get that close. There's people who let all types of shit go. So often I expect probably a little bit more from a machine than like your average installer. There's people that are just like, I'm just trying to get as many cars done as possible in the shortest amount of time possible. And whatever the machine cuts, it's like, yeah, it's usually okay enough. And then they ship it. But that's up to the customer. And some people will roll down their windows. They'll see an edge that's a little farther away, not think anything of it. That's just like, oh, I guess that's just how it is. And some people look at it and go, I don't like that. So it's for sure a hassle to come and get your windows retinted. So it's usually one of those things. For some people it's worth it, some people it's not. But as long as the shop keeps kicking cars out, and it doesn't take away too much of their time, they'll just keep doing it. But on this pattern, like plotter, immediately gonna have a like perfectly smooth cut all the way around. Now what I just need it to do is to make sure it overlaps all my edge. And if it does a good job of that, it doesn't matter if it's a little bigger, as long as it covers everything. There we go. So rear quarters are good. So all we got left is this back window. We gotta prep it, shrink it, install. Hi. If my truck is an SUV and it has a subwoofer taking up the whole trunk, can they do the back glass? Yes, on an SUV, you should be able to. It depends on how much space you actually have. Because if it's like this, we got to do some quarter windows, and I got a sub that's basically to the roof or halfway up. Like I can't crawl in there to tint this window. So sometimes you have access to it. On an SUV, we can open the back hatch. So this glass, I don't have to get in the vehicle to do it at all. It's really about those quarter windows. It's like that pretty much, but it's completely full 412s. Yeah, if there's no space to get to the quarter windows, but the back window would be fine. You want to tint that stuff ahead of time before you just block off all the space for somebody to get to it. You do a vinyl on the outside, though. You can still cover them up some way. It's just not going to be quite the same. This really doesn't open that much either. They used to open more than that. Okay, so we're going to shrink it. It's so short, and I have no wiper in the way. You know what? Let's not even worry about a dryer sheet. We'll just snap it. It's not like there's a lot to shrink on this one. How do I figure out my pricing when I'm starting? It helps to see where other people are at. So like, get a couple vehicles, call around, see what other people are gonna charge for them. And then that'll give you a good market range. So that's not telling you exactly what you should charge, but look at it from a customer's perspective. Excuse me. If I'm interested in getting my windows tinted and I don't have a place that I'm gonna go, I'm gonna get a quote. A lot of people will call a few different places. So if you're astronomically higher or drastically lower, you'd want to know that. Call around, see where other people are at. But yeah, that's what's hard about pricing. Like you could have some type of recommended, like don't go below this price. Income levels range, population ranges. It's like there's so many small factors. Just figure out what the people that are there are already charging. And then you just get what, you know, that's an average. People tried charging more than that. People tried charging less than that. And it's, you need to make what you have to make ends meet. Whoopsies. See those fingers that just popped up? That's what we still need to shrink. Because that's how it'll turn out on the inside if we don't do anything about it. should have just dryer sheeted this. We definitely had a little more curve than I thought. But same rules. You just want to take the flatness out of it. All right. Should be good. Should be close. Close enough to touch up if we need to. Snap shrink a C6. Yeah, good luck. I still have a hard time just shrinking it. I'm not gonna pretend like that car's easy for me. I don't get them often though. We had, it's so funny. We had a guy call for a quote. He had oh my God, his tone. I had the funniest recording. There's certain, I'll put it this way, there's certain customer vehicle types that have a customer that will just, not all of them, but they can drive you absolutely crazy. So when you get into like the older sports cars, the problem is, on the difficult ones, is like the guys that bought them, to them they're the coolest cars ever. And they couldn't afford the new ones. So like that car, they will look at that car way too close all the time. So this guy had brought it to 2 other shops and he was annoyed about like the dot matrix area. And a few different shops told him the exact same thing and nobody was gonna tell him different. The dot silver out, there's not much that you can do about it. And so he started out with like, this is the 3rd shop that I'm gonna have do this car. I didn't even want to touch it. That's where tinting can be just a huge pain. Not fun. A truck like this in carbon, that's exactly what we're doing. This was $299. Tell them to replace it with a different back window without the matrix. They don't make one, do they? Is that like actually a thing? It'd be nice if it was a thing. Because then I'd have something to tell them. I have seen a couple posts from like some very old school guys that they'll swear by a DA sander and it looks like they can make it happen. That's such a unique skill. Wow. They really don't make this one that easy, do they? Guy went to Mexico. He didn't like it, so he went to Mexico to get one cut. But it's so, but it's a whole tempered piece of glass. They can do that? I mean, I've seen like classic cars get cut because they're flat. But that's a whole curvy, tempered. There we go. I think we got it. Kind of hard to see. Cutout was pretty good. It was very close to not quite fitting. But they got it. Get a couple more towels. Camera 1. That does work. It works sometimes. I don't know what it is. There's sometimes I try and get it to change and it's like not having it. Camera 3. Camera 3. There we go. Prices for everything? I mean, if you want everything, you can just message our bot. So if you text us, our bot will just quote you vehicle after vehicle. They'll give you a pretty good idea. But like, if we're talking about just like all the side windows, back window, and the front windshield on this one, in carbon it would be $450. In ceramic, it would be $550, and in a double layer ceramic, it's $650. And that goes with a lot of vehicles. All right, let's clean up the windows, make sure everything's pressed out, and seat is good to go. A little bit smoother than the Sienna yesterday, that's for sure. So we're gonna check for these edges, make sure everything's laying down right. Looks good. Oh, we got that same bump going on right here. So just a little trim right here. So if I get really close, you can see just the very edge of the tint basically hits that rubber. There it is. See that? Really slight. That would just dry out and be a little air spot. So anything that it's gonna butt up on, you wanna make sure that it's trimmed shy. Happy holidays. Yeah, you too. Better. Gotta take out this little sliver though. So that, I'll get really close, a good visual. See that little shoestring there? That's what I trimmed back. That's what was causing that to bump up there. But there's usually a spot for the tint to tuck around the entire way. This has dots. Get really close. We have dots. I'm trying to get this a good angle. And then you have a rubber edge. So you don't really have very much margin on those quarter windows. Or port windows, whatever they want to call them. And I'm sure that rubber varies from truck to truck, which is why there was just a couple of pattern options. And the first ones didn't work out. On this one, it's excusable. On the Sienna rear ones, I don't know. There must have been a change. I can't imagine them being that far off, but. Checking for any little pinches on the side. I got one little air pocket there. Gotta make sure that's pressed out. Looks good. This side is good. Let's go wipe off the other side. Camera 2. Does somebody say they make customers remove mirrors for windshields? That's wild. I mean, I've seen discussions in my group, like I kind of roll my eyes at this. It's like, do you make your customers go through a car wash before they bring their car in to get tinted? Some people are like, yes, absolutely. Every customer has to have their car washed before they come get it tinted. Like, holy shit, man. I can understand if something had been mudding. Like there's a threshold here. And I've had customers absolutely go and get their car washed ahead of time, and they're just like, yeah, I got it washed for you. It's like, oh, thanks, that helps. But like, glass cleans up fast. Glass cleans up fast, and it's not a big deal. No, dirty cars don't bug me at all. I'm tinting the windows, not the carpet. So a lot of people, or whatever. Some people will look at just the state of the car and they'll see like trash on the floor and just general grime, and they'll just like let it get to them. It's like you just don't look at that. The dirt in the carpet isn't jumping up into your window. I posted in your group last night, having issues with film and vinyl designs. Do you swear by Core? I like Core so much better than I ever, like I genuinely did not like film and vinyl designs. Do not know, other than the price, how they have so many people saying that it's okay. I just had a really bad experience with it. So I've used Core, I've used DAP, I've used Film and Vinyl Designs, I used True Cut before it was Core, along with Lumar Precision Cut, like I used both of those. I've used Tint 2020. Recently I used Computer Cut by Solar Guard. And the only two that I would recommend, that if you're a non-Expel shop, because if you're Expel, you're using DAP. But if you're not, then you can't use DAP. Core and Computer Cut. Computer Cut, I don't think is worth the money. As far as I know, it's the same, if not more expensive than Core, and it's got a severely outdated user interface, which to me matters way less if the patterns are good. But there's so many softwares that have a pretty mediocre interface and mediocre patterns to fit along with that interface. Oh yeah, DigiCut. So another one that I used was Film Cut. That is a DigiCut skin, reskinned by Plotter Depot. Yep, I've used that one. Again, it was okay, but the price now on it's even worse. So at the time, it was like the budget software that made sense. So it had a pretty limited, like when I started using it in 2022, 2023, it had just got nesting as a feature. And I was like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, you just would click the patterns and then click cut. So they had just got nesting, and boy, was it all just kind of like, it worked, it was okay, but it was rough. But for PPF and window tint, it's $200 a month for Digi, and $200 a month for just window tint through Core. So like the one that really hurts for camera 3, the one that really hurts for pricing is Core with PPF. If you're doing window tint and PPF, it's like $600 a month. That's a little nutty, but they're not really interested in being the budget software. So I don't think $200 a month for tint patterns is bad at all. That to me is pretty reasonable. Some people are like, oh, that's ludicrously expensive. I don't know. If you use the software like you're supposed to, dude, it's well worth the money. Their patterns are super good. Their interface, their support, everything's super good. They're not perfect, but on average, they've been the best that's actually available. Second to that, I would say, is DAP. Their pattern accuracy was super good, but their interface wasn't quite as good. But at the time, you couldn't beat their patterns. Core's stepped up. Core's really, really good. $200 a month is good money. So in the world of business software, $200 a month as like a main tool that you use every day, that's just kind of what I would expect. Like that's just it. Core doesn't really want to be a budget software, but $200 a month and the value that you actually get out of it, I think it's well worth it. I understand it's far more expensive than a Netflix subscription. But their main target is going to be shops that are at least doing 2 to 3 cars in a day. And there's a lot of them that'll do far more than that. That's why their PPF patterns are so much more expensive. Oh yeah, the kid seat. Let me throw that back there. Urgh. That's what I'm saying. $200 is a good price, especially if you use it every day. Oh, okay. That's what I found funny about when they increased their price from $150 to $200. Because I thought that was going to be way worse than that. I thought they were going to go up to maybe like $250, $300. That one, that's what I need. Okie doke. Oop. Little finger here. Might have to heat that up. But I get it. Price hikes are never fun. Oh yeah, let's put this back. Good. That'll do it. Okay, one thing I gotta check really quick. I'm just gonna make sure this starts. Okay, everything good. And then I'm gonna turn the key on. And I want the beeping to just kind of start. Okay, so if I take the key out of the car, no, I was timing. It still does the beep. That would have been funny if it actually stopped the beeping, because that would have blown my friggin' mind. Nope. Look at that. That looks good. Camera 1. Alrighty. Well, this has been fun. Thank you for watching. I got a couple other things I gotta do today. Hope you enjoyed. We will see you in the